Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Welcome to Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Mandir.
Jai Ho.
In our new place, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Sachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Vinod Bihari Sachinandan Gaura Hari in their new outfit today ki jai. Radha Ramana Ju ki jai, Giridash Mahārāja ki jai, Harinam Sankirtana ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Brinda ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo.
This is the culprit. Jiva Pavana Prabhu, you saved us. But this, look, for us, this is the time right now. Our clock is wrong.
Sudevi even told me today, she said the clock is like way off. And I'm like, maybe the battery's dying? And then I thought we had a little bit more time and a little bit more time because I kept checking the clock, but it was off. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, time I am, and also I am remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness.
Anyway, Jiva Pavana Prabhu, thank you so much for calling us and for letting us know that we missed our time, even though the clock says something different.
Sorry about that. Please forgive us.
Dandavat Pranam, all dear Vaishnavas.
Yeah, I was looking and I looked down and I'm like, Sudevi, you have a message from Jiva Pavana Prabhu. Is he going to be there today?
I actually said, oh, maybe he can't come today. It was us.
It was us. So please forgive us for that.
Please forgive us for our lateness. We don't like to be late.
That shouldn't have happened. I mean, even while we were moving, we made sure to be on time, but these things, what to do? Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. New Shringar, an off clock. We got the light working.
We had extra time today. Dandavat Pranam. Welcome all beautiful.
I was like, we have 10 extra minutes. Let's make the light work. So, okay, I need to make sure that I'm not blocking Srila Gurudev from all of your vision. I think it's good here. Can you hear me? Vaishnavas? Dandavat Pranam. Can you all hear me? Okay. Okay. So we will begin with Mangalacharan, page 1 of this book, Shri Gaudiya Giti Guccha. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha. I didn't see any other messages from anybody else, so please forgive us for delaying you and your schedule. Srila Bhaktivedānta Bharati Mahārāja, he didn't like the idea of being late or early. He said that creates an imposition on everyone else. Of course, you all know that we tend to go over time. Somewhere between, it used to be 7:30, now it's between 8 and 8:15, our time that we end. But you're welcome to take your time as you like. But for the beginning, usually we're spot on, so please forgive us for that. So Mangalacharan, page 1 of our Gaudiya Giti Guccha. Today, I don't know what happened, but it started with Malkon's Rag, maybe because they ended in that last night, so we're going to do Mangalacharan, how it's presenting itself. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada-kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्णपदा सहगुणो ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय राधिकाय प्रियात्मने श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदान्त नारायणीति नामिने श्रीकृष्णलीला कथने सुदाक्षं औदार्यमाधुर्यगुणैश्च युक्तं वरं वरेण्यं पुरुषं महन्तं नारायणं तं शिरसं नमामि। त्रिदन्दिनं भक्तशिरोमणिं च श्रीकृष्णपादाब्जयुतैकहृदि चैतन्यलीलामृतसारसारं नारायणं तं सततं प्रपद्ये। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनेति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय गौरप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद् भक्तिप्रज्ञानकेशवोऽति नामिने अतिमध्यच्छरित्राय श्वश्रितानञ्च पालिने जीवदुःखे सदरताय श्रीनाम प्रेमदायिने। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वतीति नामिने श्रीवर्षभानवी देवी दयिताय कृपाब्धये कृष्णसम्बन्धविज्ञानोदयिने प्रभवे नमः। माधुर्योज्ज्वलप्रेमाद्य श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिदा श्रीगौरकरुणाशक्तिविग्रहाय नमोऽस्तुते। नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये निरतारिणे रूपानुगव्यरोधापसिद्धान्तद्वन्द्वहारिणे। नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षाद्वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भारसम्बोधे पदं जायते नमः। नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवराय गौरविर्भावभूमेस्तं निर्दिष्टसजनप्रिय वैष्णवः सर्वभौम श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिशे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जयतां सुरतो पङ्गोर्मम मन्दमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदं भोजो राधामदनमोहनम् दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमद श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्री श्री राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवो प्रेष्ठादिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमन्द्रसरसारम्भी वंशिवत ततस्थितः कर्षन्मेनुस्वनर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तु नः वृन्दाये तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णभक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद चेतो दर्पण मार्जनं भव महादावाग्नि निर्वापनं श्रेय कैरव चंद्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधू जीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसंकीर्तनं श्रीकृष्णसंकीर्तनं हरेर्नाम हरेर्नाम हरेर्नामेव केवलम् कलो नास्त्येव 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 गतिरन्यथा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे दंडवत् प्रणाम वैष्णव Sudevi, can you put the fan on level 1? Just turn the switch. Thank you. Jai Jai Shri Guru Prema Kalpataru by Vaishnav Das, page 29. Am I blocking Gurudev's picture too much? There we go.
Not at all.
Jayo Jayo Shri Guru Yayoge Timiro Voro Gyan Yayoge Timiro Voro Gyan Suchandra Kirane ইহলোচন আনন্দ ধাম, ইহলোচন আনন্দ ধাম, অযাচিত মোহেন পতিত হেরি যো পাহু, অযাচিত মোহেন পতিত হেরি যো পাহু, চাচি দেয়লো চাচি দেয়লো হরি নাম, দূরমতি আগতি সতত যশতে মতি, দূরমতি আগতি সতত যশতে মতি, নাহি সুকৃতি লবলেশ, নাহি সুকৃতি লবলেশ, শ্রী বৃন্দাবন যুগল ভজন ধান, শ্রী বৃন্দাবন যুগল ভজন ধান, তাহে করলো উপদেশ, তাহে করলো উপদেশ, নিরমল গৌর প্রেম রস সিঞ্চনে, নিরমল গৌর প্রেম রস সিঞ্চনে, পুরলো জগজন আশ, পুরলো জগজন আশ, সোচরণাম বুঝে রতি নাহি হোয়ালো, সোচরণাম বুঝে রতি নাহি হোয়ালো, রোয়ত বৈষ্ণব দাস, রোয়ত বৈষ্ণব দাস, জয় জয় শ্রী গুরু প্রেম কল্পতরু, জয় জয় শ্রী গুরু প্রেম কল্পতরু, অদ্ভুত যাকো পরকাশ, অদ্ভুত যাকো পর, you spray something? অদ্ভুত যাকো পরকাশ, অদ্ভুত যাকো পরকাশ, Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Guru Parampara ki jai. I'm aware that for many of you today, maybe in Europe, it may be according to the lunar time period there, it would be the day of our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, the appearance. Here, it will be... Sudevi, it's frozen again? It doesn't show that it is. No. Here, for us, it is tomorrow. So we will be speaking about our Param Gurudev tomorrow. Next. It actually froze. It's okay. I don't know. According to Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur in Jaiva Dharma, chapter 1, there he's comparing the soul who is bound in this material world to water which has been subjected to very freezing cold temperatures. That water takes on or acquires a different temporary but seemingly permanent nature, and that is ice. And because it's been entrapped in such a state for such a long time, in essence it thinks, that is me, that is my nature. So just like us being in this material world, we think, this is me, I am this body, I am Kishori Mohan, I am this, I am that, this is my wife, this is my house, this is I and mine. Whereas in reality, in nature, water, by its nature, is meant to flow. And where does it flow? To its source. It's not that it just seeks the lowest level, it's seeking the ocean. So Srila Gurudev explained this like specific gravities. Air, or any gas, seeks the air. Water seeks its source, which is the ocean. Fire seeks its source, which is the sun. That's why fire goes upward. Heat goes up toward its source. So Srila Gurudev spoke about these specific gravities when he was speaking about Śrīmad Bhagavatam. So, even the word frozen can have so much meaning for us, and also, what is our inclination toward, real inclination toward service to Krishna? Even if we're doing it externally, still, if we look inside, feel our pulse, maybe my heart is hard. Was it Narahari Das? How is it that the Lord gave me a stone in place of a heart? My heart is hard like a stone or ice, and it requires a lot to break it. What does it require? In essence, torchlight of transcendental knowledge. Sri Guru comes and melts that hard heart by his sweet Harikatha, by his beautiful glances, by his laughing, by his smiles, by his chastisement, by everything. And somehow this heart will be melted, and one day, hopefully, will flow toward Shri Radha and Krishna. Now we will call out for the mercy of the Vaishnavas. O he Vaishnava Thakur, Doyar Sagar, Edase Kurunakori, page 39. By Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur. O he Vaishnava Thakuro, Doyar Sagaro, Edase Karuna Kori. O he Vaishnava Thakuro, Doyar Sagaro, Edase Karuna Kori. Diya Pado Chaya, Shodho he amare দিয়া পদ ছায়া শোধো হে আমারে তোমার চরণ ধরি তোমার চরণ ধরি ক্ষয় বেগ তুমি ক্ষয় দোষ শোধি ক্ষয় গুণ দেহ দাসে ক্ষয় বেগ তুমি ক্ষয় দোষ শোধি ক্ষয় গুণ দেহ দাসে ক্ষয় সত সঙ্গ দেহ হে আমারে ক্ষয় সত সঙ্গ দেহ হে আমারে বসেছি সঙ্গে রয়াসে বসেছি সঙ্গে রয়াসে ও একাকী আমার নাহি পাইব হরি নাম সংকীর্তনে একাকী আমার নাহি পাইব হরি নাম সংকীর্তনে তুমি কৃপা করি শ্রদ্ধা বিন্দু দিয়া তুমি কৃপা করি শ্রদ্ধা বিন্দু দিয়া দেহ কৃষ্ণ নাম ধনে দেহ কৃষ্ণ নাম ধনে ও কৃষ্ণ সে তোমার কৃষ্ণ দিতে পারো তোমার শক্তি আছে কৃষ্ণ সে তোমার কৃষ্ণ দিতে পারো তোমার শক্তি আছে আমি তো কাঙ্গাল কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ বলি আমি তো কাঙ্গাল কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ বলি ধাই তব পাছে পাছে ধাই তব পাছে পাছে ও হে বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর দয়ার সাগর এ দাসে করুণা করি বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর দয়ার সাগর এ দাসে করুণা করি দিয়া পদ ছায়া শোধো হে আমারে দিয়া পদ ছায়া শোধো হে আমারে তোমার চরণ ধরি তোমার চরণ ধরি তোমার চরণ ধরি তোমার চরণ ধরি জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর প্রভু কৃপা করো মোরে দয়া করো প্রভু কৃপা করো মোরে দয়া করো প্রভু কৃপা করো মোরে দয়া করো প্রভু কৃপা করো মোরে দয়া করো। All Vaishnava Thakurs ki jai. Dandava Pranama Vaishnavas Raghava Pandit Prabhu. Today I was remembering when Srila Govinda Mahārāja said Ananta Maya Das, and I was remembering you telling us that. Okay. And I was reflecting how that really is for all of us. That we are endlessly in Maya, and we require the strong discipline of Gurudev, of Sri Guru, to awaken us from such a condition. Now we will call for the mercy, the grace, the shelter, the compassion of Sri Rupa Goswami. Vishaya Vasana Rupa Chitera Vikar by Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur, page 48. Sudevi,
Yes?
can you close the door? I'm afraid I might be making too much noise for the neighbors. Thank you.
It's going to go to 90 soon, so keep an eye.
Oh, okay.
It was at 50.
Right. Vishaya vasana rupa chitero vikaro amar hridoye bhoga koreyani ba Vishaya vasana rupa chitero vikaro Amar hridoye bhoga koreyani ba Kato je jatano yami korilamo hai Kato je jatano yami korilamo hai Nagelo vikaro buddhi sheshe prano jai Nagelo vikaro buddhi sheshe prano jai E ghoro vikaro more korilo yasthi Karo more korilo yasthiro Shanti na pailo sthano Antaro yadhiro Shanti na pailo sthano Antaro yadhiro Shri Rupa Gosvāmī more kripa vitoriya Shri Rupa Gosvāmī more kripa vitoriya Udhari bekabe jukto vairagyo yarpiya Udhari bekabe jukto vairagyo yarpiya Kabe sonatono more charaye vishoy Kabe sonatono more charaye vishoy Nityanande samorpive hoya sodo Nityananda samorpive hoya sodo Shri Jiva Gosvami kabe Siddhanta Shonile Shri Jiva Gosvāmī Kavi Siddhanta Shanile Nibhaibe Tarkanalo Chitta Jahe Jwale Nibhaibe Tarkanalo Chitta Jahe Jwale Shri Chaitanya Namo Shune Uribe Pulaka Shri Chaitanya Namo Shune Uribe Pulaka Radha Krishna Amrito Pane Oi Boya Shoka Radha Krishna Amrito Pane Hoi Boya Shoka Kangale Rasukangalo Durjana Ye Jano Kangale Rasukangalo Durjana Ye Jano Vaishnava Charanashro Jacheya Kinchana Vaishnava Charanashro Jacheya Kinchana O Vaishnava Charanashro Jacheya Kinchana Vaishnava Charanashro Jacheya Kinchana Rupa Sanatan Jai Rupa Sanatan 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 Prabhu hai 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 Shri Rupa Goswami Pad ki Jai Shri Sanatana Goswami Pad ki Jai Shri Shat Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Now we will call for the mercy, the grace of Shri Nityananda Prabhu. Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Boro Shuker Kabor Gai. Page 164 in our bhajan treasure trove. And this is also by Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur. We didn't sing this on either day of Shri Nityananda Prabhu, but his day is every day. Every day is Nitai day, every day is Guru day. So, Boro Shukir Kabor Gai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Śrī Advaita Gadadhara Śrīvāsadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Śrī Advaita Gadadhara Śrīvāsadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Baro Shukir Kabor Gai Baro Shukir Kabor Gai Surabhi Kunje Ter Namer Hath tuleche Kodane Tai Surabhi Kunje Ter Namer Hath tuleche Kodane Tai Boro Mojar Kotha Tai Boro Mojar Kotha Tai Shraddha Mulye Shudho Naam Se Hate Devikai Shraddha Mulye Shudho Naam Se Hate Devikai Jato Bhakta Vrindavashi Jato Bhakta Vrindavashi Adhikari dekhe na beche daro kashi Adhikari dekhe na beche daro kashi Jadi naam kinde bhai Jadi naam kinde bhai Amar sange cholo Mahajaner kache jai Amar sange cholo Mahajaner kache jai Tumi kinbe Krishna naam Tumi kinbe Krishna naam Dasturi lo ibo yami Purno hobe kam Dasturi lo ibo yami Purno hobe kam Boro doyal nityanando Boro doyal nityanando Boro doyal nityanando Boro doyal nityanando Doyal nityananda Boro doyal nityananda Shraddha matra loye de Paramayananda Shraddha matra loye de Paramayananda Ek baar dekh le choke jaal Dekh le choke jaal Ek baar dekh le choke jaal Ek baar dekh le choke jaal Gaura bole nitai den Sokalo sambal Gaura bole nitai den Sakala sambal den Shuddha Krishna shiksha Den Shuddha Krishna shiksha Den Shuddha Krishna shiksha Jati dhana vidya bolo na kore apeka Jati dhana vidya bolo na kore apeka Amani chare maya jal Chare maya jal Amani chare maya jal Grihe thako bane thako na thake janjal Grihe thako bane thako na thake namo nitai doyamo. Achandale den namo nitai doyamo. Bhakti vinodaki koi, bhakti vinodaki koi, vinodaki koi, bhakti vinodaki koi. Nitai chander charana bina ar nahi ashroy. Nitai chander charana bina ar nahi ashroy. Boro shukher kabor gai, o boro shukher kabor gai. Surabhi kunjete na mera hath kuleche kodanitai. Surabhi kunjete na mera hath kuleche kodanitai. Nitai 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 nitai. Nitai 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 he, nitai 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 nitai, nitai 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 he, nitai 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 nitai. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. That tune I first heard in Shri Keshavji Gauriya Math in front of Srila Gurudev, sung by, what was his name? Gauranga, later became known as Sadhu Mahārāja. Moro Shukher Kabur Gai. Beautiful. Now we will call out for the mercy and the shelter of Sri Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Sake Kalaya Gaurumudaram. 340 in our Shigori Gitigucha. If you do not have this, then just go to the most recent post of Jiva Pavana Prabhu, and there you will find the bhajans along with their translations and commentaries from our acharyas. Mm. 340. Shakhe Kalaya Gauramudaram. Sakhe Kalaya Gauramudaram. Sakhe Kalaya Gauramudaram. Sakhe Kalaya Gauramudaram. Nindita hatako Kanti kale varo. Nindita hatako Kanti kale varo. Garbito maro kumarum. Garbito maro kumarum. Sakhe Kalayo Gauramudaram. Sakhe Kalayo Gauramudaram. Madhukara Ranjito Malati Mandito. Madhukara Ranjito Malati Mandito. Jita Ghano Kunchito Kesham. Jita Ghano Kunchito Kesham. Tilaka Vinindita Shashadhara Rupakam. तिलक विनिंदित शशधर रूपक भुवनो मनोहर वेश भुवनो मनोहर वेश सखे कालयो गौरमुदारम् सखे कालयो गौरमुदारम् मधु मधुर स्मित लोभित तनुभृतं मधु मधुर स्मित लोभित तनुभृतम् अनुपमो भावविलासम् अनुपमो भावविलासम् निधुवन्न नागरी मोहित मानस निधुवन्न नागरी मोहित मानस विकथित गद गद भाष विकथित गद गद भाष निधुवन नागरी मोहित मानस विकथित गद गद भाष विकथित गद गद भाष सखे कालयो गौरमुदारम् सखे कालयो गौरमुदारम् परमाय किञ्चन किञ्चनो नरगणो परमा किञ्चन किञ्चनो नरगणो करुणा वितरणशीलम् करुणा वितरणशीलम् शोभित दुर्मति राधा मोहन शोभित दुर्मति राधा मोहन नाम को निरूपम लीला नाम को निरूपम लीला शोभित दुर्मति राधा मोहन नाम को निरूपम लीला नाम को निरूपम लीला सखे कालयो गौरमुदारम् सखे सखे कालयो गौरमुदारम् सखे कालयो गौरमुदारम् सखे कालयो गौरमुदारम् सखे कालयो गौरमुदारम् सच्चिनंदन जय गौर हरि सच्चिनंदन जय गौर हरि सच्चिनंदन जय गौर हरि सच्चिनंदन जय गौर हरि गौर हे 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 श्री सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि की जय प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि की जय माधव बहुत मिनती कोरितो है पेज 144 by Sri Vidyapati. We are now going to call for the mercy of Krishna. Madhava he bahut minati karito Madhava he bahut minati karito de tulasi tira dehasa marpinu de tulasi tira dehasa marpinu doya jani na choro bimo doya jani na choro bimo Madhava he bahut minati karito Madhava he bahut minati karito ganahite dosham gunalesham napayo ganahite dosham gunalesham napayo jabatu karabi vichar jabatu karabi vichar tuhu jagannatha jagate ka জগতে কাহায়সি জগবাহি নাহি মুছা জগবাহি নাহি মুছা মাধব হে বহুত মিনতি করিত মাধব হে বহুত মিনতি করিত It's too high for me. কিয়ে মানুষ পশু পাখি যে জনমিয়ে কিয়ে মানুষ পশু পাখি যে জনমিয়ে অথবা কীট পতঙ্গে অথবা কীট পতঙ্গে করম বিপাকে গতাগতি পুনঃ পুনঃ করম বিপাকে গতাগতি পুনঃ পুনঃ অতিরহু তুয়াপর সঙ্গে মতিরহু তুয়াপর সঙ্গে মাধব মাধব হে মাধব হে বহুত মিনতি করিত মাধব হে বহুত মিনতি করিত ভানয়ে বিদ্যাপতি অতিশয় কাতর ভানয়ে বিদ্যাপতি অতিশয় কাতর তরইতে ইহ ভব সিন্ধু তরইতে ইহ ভব সিন্ধু তুয়া পদ পল্লব করিয়াবলম্বন তুয়া পদ পল্লব করিয়াবলম্বন তিলয়েক দেহ দীন বন্ধু তিলয়েক দেহ দীন বন্ধু মাধব মাধব হে মাধব হে Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. The drum is making something vibrate. So as you've seen in the bhajan we just called out with by Sri Vidyapati, what a beautiful mood of petitioning the Lord. O Madhava, I ardently solicit you, offering tulsi and sesame, I submit my very body before you. I know that you are merciful and will not reject me. Encountering only my faults, you will not find a speck of good qualities when considering my appeal. You are known throughout the world as Jagannath, Lord of the universe. Therefore, even a contemptible person like me is not beyond your consideration. Impelled by my karma, I may take birth as a human, as an animal, as a bird, or even as a worm or bug. Again and again, reaping the consequences of my actions, I tumble about from one fate to the next. Nonetheless, may my absorption remain in you. In acute desperation, Vidyapati supplicates. In traversing this ocean of material existence, the tender leaves of your feet are my sole mainstay. Allow me just a morsel of your grace, O friend of the lowly. This bhajan is very powerful, and it reminds me of a couple of bhajans of Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur, Anadi Karma Phale, Tori Bhavan Nabajale, and Manasa Deho Geho Joki Chumor. The same kind of mood is there. In whatever situation, in whatever birth I take, let me be in the association of your devotees. Kita Janmahao Jatatu Das. Always let me be in the position of your servant and in the association of your devotees. I'm offering everything that I think is mine. My mind, my body, my family, the home. Manasa Deho Geho Joki Chumor Arpilu Tuapade Nanda Kishore. And in this Anadi Karma Pale, since time without beginning, I have been reaping the results of my karma. Tori Bhavana Bajale, drowning in this ocean of material existence, and I see no end to this. He said, Jnana Karma Tagadui More Pratari Aloy. Gyan, karma, and all kinds of other things are like thieves stealing my everything. Thug. The word thug comes from that, I think. Jnana karma thagadui more pratari aloy. And then he says, Eheno samay bandhu tumi Krishna kripa sindhu. I'm drowning in this ocean. I'm being attacked from all sides by all kinds of terrible creatures. I cannot free myself. I see no end in sight. But Krishna, you are my only friend. Eheno samay bandhu. When you listen to our Srila Prabhupada sing this bhajan, try it. Just you, maybe a good pair of headphones, go into a closet where no one else can see you. Read the meaning and listen to him sing it. You can hear him breaking up as he's calling out in this bhajan, Anadi Karma Phale, Tori Bhavana Bajale. When he comes to that point, Eheno Samaya Bandhu, at this time I see no one else. You are my only friend. Please give me your mercy. So it's very powerful to petition to the Lord, but especially to see how the Vaishnavas are praying to Him. And then we can pray to them that may even just one particle of your mood enter our hearts as we are chanting your prayer. They're teaching us how to pray, how to call out. Maybe you can post a link to that bhajan. Anadi karma pale tori bhavan nava jale. Now we're going to petition excuse me, to Srimati Radhika for her mercy, her grace and shelter. Radha and Krishna. राधा भजने जदि मति नहीं भेला, कृष्ण भजन तब अकारण गेला. Page 110, 110 by Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur. वृषभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा रानी की जय. राधा भजने जदि मति नाही भेला, कृष्ण भजन तब अकारण गेला. राधा भजने जदि मति नाही भेला, कृष्ण भजन तब अकारण गेला. आत पुरोहित सूरज नाही जानी, आत पुरोहित सूरज नाही जानी, राधा विरहित माधव नाही मानी. राधा विरहित माधव नाही मानी.
It's gonna be free.
ओ केवल माधव पूजये स्वज्ञानी, केवल माधव पूजये स्वज्ञानी. राधाय नादरो करोय अभिमानी, राधाय नादरो करोय अभिमानी. कबहि नाही करोबि ठाकुर संग, कबहि नाही करोबि ठाकुर संग. चित्ते इच्छसि जदि व्रजरस रंग, चित्ते इच्छसि जदि व्रजरस रंग. राधिका दासी जदि होई अभिमानो, राधिका दासी जदि होई अभिमानो, शीघ्रै मिलई तब गोकुल कानो, शीघ्रै मिलई तब गोकुल कानो. ब्रह्म शिव नारद श्रुति नारायणी, ब्रह्मा शिव नारद श्रुति नारायणी. राधिका पदरज पूजये मानी, राधिका पदरज पूजये मानी. Satya Shachi Chandra Rukmini Umarama Satya Shachi Chandra Rukmini Radhayavo Taro Sabe Amnayo Vani Radhayavo Taro Sabe Amnayo Vani Heno Radha Paricharjo Jakorodhano Heno Radha Paricharja Jakorodhano Bhakti Vinoda Taro Magoye Charano Bhakti Vinoda Taro Magoye Charana Radha Bhajane Jadi Mati Nahi Bhela Radha Bhajane Jadi Mati Nahi Bhela Krishna Bhajana Tava Akarana Gela Krishna Bhajana Tava Akarana Gela Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Śrī Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Śrī Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Vrishabhananandani Srimati Radha Thakurani ki Jai. So before we came to our Srila Gurudev, we did not know that personalities like Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur, Srila Narottam Das Thakur, our Guru Varga, our Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, Rup Goswami, and so many others had this particular mood. And our Gurudev was like, this is what it's all about. And we were like, what? What? We had no idea. We were like, I'm not this body, and vegetarian, and reincarnation. And of course, chanting Mahamantra, but because we were not, we meaning me, and my wife also, we were not under proper guidance. We were afraid, for good reasons, to accept anyone as our guide. Then we did not learn about the deeper esoteric necessities for progressing on the path of Rupanuga Bhakti. And so if you see this bhajan by Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur, he clarifies everything very clearly. And if we want the mercy of Bhaktivedānta Thakur, if we want the mercy of our Guru Varga, if we want the mercy of Narottam Das Thakur, if we want the mercy of all of our Rupanuga Guru Varga and Srimati Radhika and Krishna, then we must take this into consideration. If the desire to worship Sri Radha does not arise, then your worship of Krishna goes in vain. So if we said the name Radha or Radhe and someone's trying to stop us from saying the name of Radhe, then the name of Krishna is going in vain. We cannot conceive of the sun devoid of sunlight. Similarly, we cannot accept Madhava separate from Radha. In other words, he's not his own separate entity. He is interdependent with her. They are one soul in two forms. Ekatma. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Shakti Hladini. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Hladini Shaktir Asmad. I haven't said it in a while and it's a tongue twister for me. Radha and Krishna, the fact that they have two forms is for the purpose of experiencing pranaya, love and affection. But ekatma, they are one soul. So to try to separate one from the other, it's like separating light from the sun. There's no meaning to the sun without sunlight or heat. Fire from heat, musk from the scent of musk. She is the complete potency and he's the complete potent. If you use the word potent, that implies potency. And if you use the word potency, that implies potent. There's a source of potency. There is no meaning to one without the other. So, Bhaktivedānta Thakur here very clearly says, Kevala Madhava, Pujaye so agyani. If you're worshipping only Madhava, only Krishna, then your puja is out of ignorance. Your worship is out of ignorance. Because you don't understand that you cannot separate the two. If you're just going to worship Madhava but push Radhika away, then you cannot actually even understand, see, or connect to him. Like in Jaipur, back in the day, when they wanted to separate Radhika from Govinda. Because in Shastra we have not seen that she's married to Krishna. So they wanted to separate them. And our Gaudiya Guru Varga, especially Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, through Sri Baladeva Dibhusham Prabhu, fought very strongly, defeated all of their arguments, presented Govinda Bhashya, and established that Radhika can be and must be worshipped with Govinda. Don't ever associate... So one who worships only Madhava is ignorant, and one who disrespects Sri Radha is simply conceited. Conceited means proud, arrogant. They don't understand. Don't ever associate with such persons if your heart longs for the loving playfulness of Brajaras. So if we're aspiring, like we would pray every morning, Śrī Radha Govinda Preme Sadayena Basi, More Abhilas Vilash Kunje Diobas, Nayane Hiribo Sada Yugala Ruparashi. We're praying that every morning, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. If we're praying that, then Bhaktivedānta Thakur is showing, don't ever associate with such persons who only worship Madhava if your heart longs for the loving playfulness of Brajaras. That means we should never neglect Srimati Radhika. If you consider yourself to be the maidservant of Srimati Radhika, Radhika Dasi Jadi Hoy Abhiman, then very quickly you will attain Kana of Gokul. That means Krishna of Vrindavan. If you consider yourself to be the maidservant of Srimati Radhika. We know that Brahma, Shiva, Narad, the personified Vedas, and Nārāyaṇi, Lakshmi Devi, all worship the dust of Srimati Radhika's lotus feet. Not only do they all worship the dust of her feet, guess who else worships the dust of her lotus feet? Anyone who can answer this question. Who else worships the dust of her lotus feet? And I'm talking about more than all of them. What are we going to give them? Sonam just won it. Krishna himself, yes. Krishna is also begging for that. Smaragarla kandanam mama shirashi mandanam dehi padapalavamudaram. Oh Srimati Radhika, please be merciful to me and help to soothe my burning heart. Place your lotus feet upon my head. He's also begging for her foot dust. What to speak of all of these other personalities? Ananta koti vishnu loka namra padmajachite himadri japuloma javirincha javaraprade apara siddhi rigdi dashat padangulinake. Sat padangulinake. They're all, in all Vishnu lokas, all personalities, all of the greatest, highest persons are praying for even one particle of dust from even one toe of Srimati Radhika. Kada karishyasi hamang kripa kataksha bhajanam. When, oh when, will Srimati Radhika give us her merciful sidelong glance? The revealed scriptures declare that Uma, that is the consort of Lord Shiva, Rama, the consort of Srimad Nārāyaṇa himself, Satya, Shachi, Chandra, Rukmini, this is Chandravali, Rukmini of Dwarka, Radha Avatar Sabe Amnayabani, because she is the original Shakti, Purna Shakti. All other Shaktis are, in essence, her manifestations. She is the complete Shakti, so therefore all other Shaktis are her expansions. Bhaktivedānta Thakur begs at the feet of those whose wealth is the service of Sri Radha. This part, don't ever associate with such persons who disrespect or ignore Srimati Radhika if you want to attain Brajaras. So this, Srila Gurudev awakened within us. He showed us, look, it's everywhere, it's here, it's there. Radhika Charanarenu Bhushana Koriyatanu, Radhika Charana Padma Sakala Shreyere Sadma, Radha Bhajane Jadi, Matina Hi Bela. Everywhere, all of our Rupanuga Guru Varga are telling this. So there's no harm in saying Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe. Not even no harm, there's all good. There is definitely harm in disrespecting or neglecting Srimati Radhika. One will never attain Vrindavan because she is Vrindavaneshwari. She is the queen of Vrindavan. If you want to enter into Vrindavan, then you must have the mercy, the blessings of the queen of Vrindavan. Krishna tries to claim the position of being the king, but Vrindadevi has given Vrindavan unto Srimati Radhika. She is Vrindavaneshwari. And our Srila Gurudev has told, within the notes of Janaki Didi from his Hindi classes, in this prayer by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the one which states, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Matamidam Tatradaro Napparaha. This is the opinion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and there is nothing beyond it. Aradhyo Bhagavan Brajesha Tanayas Tadham Vrindavanam. The first line, Aradhyo Bhagavan, the supreme, topmost worshipful aspect of God is Brajesha Tanai. Now, I'm not too perfect in the definitions of Tanai. Some said it means son or child, but my understanding is beloved. Srila Gurudev explained that Brajesh, although you can say Brajesh means Nanda Maharaj, Nanda Baba, Brajesh, he's the king of Vrindavan, but there's another meaning of Brajesh, who is the queen of Vrindavan. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. She is also Brajesh. Brajesha Tanai, the dearmost of Srimati Radhika. Then that prayer flows. The topmost worshipful aspect of Krishna, the most charming, the most enchanting, the most beautiful, which is not even seen by Nanda Baba or Yashoda, is only in reciprocation with that highest love, that greatest love, which is the most refined and exquisite. And that can only be found in the source of all of it, Krishna's own love potency, herself, Vrishabhananandini, Srimati Radha Thakurani. So when Srila Gurudev showed us this, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to be rejected from Krishna. My worship of Krishna is useless if I don't chant the name of Radha. And I will never attain Vrindavan. I'm praying for Vrindavan, but I will never attain Vrindavan if I don't worship Radha with Krishna. And persons like Bhaktivedānta Thakur and Narottam Das Thakur and my Guru Varga don't want me anywhere near them if I'm not going to chant the names of Srimati Radhika and Krishna together. I'm definitely going to acknowledge both of them together. Otherwise, how can we attain their mercy? And if they won't give their mercy, then how will their followers also accept us? They're all of that mood. So we must approach in the proper way, and our Guru Varga are teaching us how to approach in the proper way. So we have something exciting happening today. And then, of course, tomorrow we'll go back to normal. Guess what? We're continuing with Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam from Kartik time. So we are going to sing Do you remember what page it is? Whoever remembers which page it is gets a bowl of rasamalai. Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam. Maybe. A lot of dust being kicked up by the helicopters. Excuse me. Page 290. Very good. You get a bowl of rasamalai. My God, we're going to have to put on a huge feast with 1,000 preparations. You know, Duryodhana did that and invited Krishna, and Krishna was like, I'm not hungry. I know. You can judge. Krishna was like, I'm not hungry. And he goes to the house of Vidura. And there, Vidura's wife is there. And she's completely overwhelmed in praying, tears flowing from her eyes, and she wants to give Krishna something, anything. So she grabs bananas and she's peeling the bananas. And in praying, instead of giving him the banana, she's giving him the peel. And Krishna's eating the peel, experiencing her love and affection, because he doesn't need food. He eats love. And so this was thousands and millions of times more tasty than the thousands of perfectly prepared preparations offered by Duryodhana. So really it's about the love inside, and that's what Krishna eats. And if we want Krishna to accept our offerings, even if it is only a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or some water, but with love and affection, then he will accept that. Even if we make a massive fancy feast, but there's no love and affection, it's only for pride or for feeding the guest, but not for Krishna, then maybe he won't accept that. But if we are giving even a little bit of love and affection, then Krishna will accept that. Anyone who knows the verse I just referred to from Bhagavad Gita, whoever posts it first gets a plate of fresh hot jalebis. Oh! Devaki is reminding us, Giwik.
Oh.
Jaldi karo, Sudevi, jaldi karo.
I'm here.
And lighter. Thank you, Devaki.
I pre-made them. Wait, lighter. I got this.
Sudevi pre-made the Giwiks. Jai. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
I think I'm going to offer Radha Bihari first. Shri Radha Vino Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai. That's it. Check it.
No, it's fine.
Giriraj Mahārāja Ki Jai, Shalagram Shila Ki Jai, Little Gopal Ki Jai, and little Gopal Ki Jai. And Śrī Dāmodara ki jai.
Maybe you should hit that so that it starts again.
This one.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna? Oh, it's there. It's working. Oh. Whoa. Okay.
What?
Wow. Sonam was quick.
What?
Awesome. Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati taraham bhaktupahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha. You know, a lot of times people forget that yome bhaktya prayachati, with love and devotion. That's the punchline. That's the punchline.
Well, what did Advaitacharya offer?
Advaitacharya offered tulsi and Ganga water to Shalagram, roaring and begging and weeping and calling out. He also offered his own tears. But he was praying like this. That's leaf and water. But by that, he was able to call Krishna himself, the original Krishna, to manifest in a more amazing form than the original Krishna. Radha Krishna Jugal Milan. Radha and Krishna in one form. The form of their prem murti. You know, in the transcendental conception, everything, every mood, every bhav has a form. And the form of their love, their prem murti, is Śrī Satyananda Gaura Hari. Advaita Acharya called that form of Radha Krishna combined to manifest in this world for the benefit of the world by tulsi and water and his prayers and his tears and his roaring. Wow, okay, everyone there. Jalebis for all. Jai. Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam, page 290, by Śrī Satyavrata Muni. Namami Sharam Sachirananda Rupam Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabhiyoluka Ladhavamanam Paramrishtamatyan Tato Drupya Gokya Namami Sharam Sachirananda Rupam Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Rudanta Muhurnetra Yugmam Brijantam Karam Hoja Jugmeno Satonkanetram Muhushvasakam Pa Tridekankakan Stitagraiva Damodaram Bhaktivedāntam Namami Sharam Sachirananda Rupam Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Iti Drikshwari Labhi Ananda Kunde Svaghosham Nimajantam Akyapayantam Tadiyeshita Geshu Bhakterjitatvam Puna Prematastam Shatavriti Bande Namami Sharam Sachirananda Rupam Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Varam Deva Moksham Namokshavadin Va Nochanyam Rineham Vareshadapiha Idam Teva Purnatho Gopalabalam Sadamim Manosyami Rashtanti Manda Namami Sharam Sachirananda Rupam Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Idam te mukhambojam Avyakta nilai Vritam kuntalai snigdha Raktaishcha gopya Muhushtam vitam bimba Raktadharam me Manasya virastam Malam lakshalabhai Namami Sharam Sachirananda Rupam Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasiddha Prabhu Dukha Jaladhimagnam Kripa Drishti Vrishyati Dinam Batanu Grihane Shamamavyam Medhyakshidresha Namami Sharam Sachirananda Rupam Satkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Kuberatmajo Badha Murtya Satyaiva yadva Tvayamochito bhakti Bhajo krito cha Tata prema bhakti Swakame prayacha Namo Kshegraho Vesti Damodareha Namami Sharam Sachirananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namaste Studamne Spuradipti Dhamne Tadiyodorayatho Vishwasya Dhamne Namo Radhikaye Tadiyapriyaye Namo Radhikaye Tadiyapriyaye Namo Nantalilayo Devaya Tubhyam Namo Nantalilayo Devaya Tubhyam Namo Radhikaye Tadiyapriyaye 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 Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam Damodara Radha Damodara Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Damodara Radha Damodara Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Śrī Radha Damodar Ju ki Jai. I keep looking at the bad clock, thinking, oh, we have so much more time. And I realize it's 15 minutes behind. So I have to be careful for that. I just received a comment here. Is it just me, or the new lighting angle makes Gauranga's eyes extra bright and wide now? Actually, the old lighting angle made them appear not as bright and wide. But really, Ujvala Varana Gora Varadeham Vilasatani Rabadi Bhava Videham. How beautiful are the eyes of Gauranga, like lotus petals extending all the way like this.
I think the answer is yes.
It's not the new lighting making his eyes extra bright and wide now. That's how they always are.
But it's helping us to see them better.
It is helping us to see them better. Okay, let me see. Now I have to look closely at what you're seeing. Wow. Maybe he's giving you extra special lotus eye darshan. What's Sachi Suta's Hare Krishna tune?
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna.
Or maybe I'll do harmonium. Yeah, Sachi Sutta.
Favorite.
Amazing kirtanya.
And sweet mood. When I met this devotee, Sachi Sutta, I was already listening to his kirtan, so I was like, my mood was, I hope I never meet him. Because every time I meet someone who's doing kirtan, I'm somehow disappointed. Like, you know, if they're not a pure devotee, obviously. So one day we had to go somewhere, and this one young man came up to me and started talking to me. And I just said, oh, what's your name? And he said, oh, my name is Sachi Sutta Das. And I go, oh no. I said, you don't do kirtan, do you? And he goes, well, sometimes, yes. And I said, oh my God, I never wanted to meet you. I never wanted to have to meet you. I'm always so disappointed. And then he just smiled and he said, I don't sell kirtan. I don't do like concerts and things like that. I've never even made a CD. I love your Gurudev. He had all of this list of things and I'm like, okay, I'm so happy. And when I listen to him, he brings such joy and such a beautiful mood. So nice, Vaishnava. What?
Yes, please.
You're saying that to someone when you meet them? Oh, I never wanted to meet you.
Yeah. Mamata said our clock is the right time.
What?
Apparently, maybe the phone is wrong. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedānta Swami Nitya Namine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Ashtotarashata Shri Śrīmad Śrī Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. And the same thousands of Dandava Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Ashtotarashata Shri Śrīmad Śrī Bhaktivedānta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga, Gauriya, Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present, and future, including all of you who are present with us today, I offer my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, dear Vaishnavas. Radhe 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 Shyam. Dandavat Pranam.
Radhe Shyam. I think I have to open the harmonium. Yeah. So we are continuing with this Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam. Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam has been manifested from the heart of Śrī Satyavrata Muni over a period of millions of years. It's not like he just sat down and wrote out this prayer. As his heart was moving, as his heart was progressing from Aishvarya Gyan, Vaidhi Bhakti, he started to experience something, an attraction, spontaneous attraction to the pastimes of Krishna. What kind? Oh, Yashoda Damodar. Mother Yashoda binding baby Krishna after he created so much mischief. He wanted to see that pastime. He always wanted to witness it. But then he wanted that Krishna, Idam Devapurnata Gopala Balam, to always be present within his heart. But that's not enough. The nature of greed, even in this material world, is that when you get what you think you want more. So it wasn't enough for him. Then he always wanted to see that beautiful lotus-like face, which is being kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda. That wasn't enough either. Then he wanted to also serve Krishna like she's serving Krishna. He also is coming into this point where he wants to see that beautiful face of Shyam Sundar, who's being kissed again and again by Srimati Radhika. So greed is rising in his heart. Within this beautiful treasure, we have the commentary of Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī Pad. And we have the translation of that commentary by our Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, along with his own added Bhav Anuvad, means his commentary full of all transcendental sentiments. And following that, we have the commentary of our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Maharaj, full of so much ras, so much bhav, and so many sweet pastimes of Krishna. So it is like an amazing treasure with so many different sections and compartments and hidden caves with more and more treasure. So before entering into this amazing treasure trove and searching through and investigating its contents, we will pray in the dust of these in the dust of the lotus feet of these divine personalities, in the words of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. Vairāga Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatnayat Apayana Mam Anubhipshamandam Kripambudirya Paraduk Duki Sanatanastam Prabhum Ashrayami, begging in the dust of their lotus feet that may even a particle of their moods which are present within these pages manifest itself within our hearts. We want just one particle to lodge itself in there, and then from there begin to sprout. And we have come only to verse 6, which is okay, because verse 6 is the kirtan verse. Śrī Satyavrata Muni has come to the point where this desire, this greed is rising in his heart, and it's becoming more and more intense, more and more acute. He wants more and more. And he's thinking, how am I going to be able to attain it? I need this. The nature of greed is that you feel you will not survive without it. I am desperate for this. How can I petition the Lord? I need it. I need this now. What is the best process of attaining His mercy? Kirtan. Namo deva Damodarāṣṭakam Vishnu prasiddha prabho dukha jalabdhimagnam kripa drishti vrishtyati dinamvatanu grihane shamamagyam medhyakshidrishya namami shwaram sachidanandarupam lasatkundalam gokule brajamanam. So this was the kirtan verse, chanting the names of the Lord in the hopes that by calling out the names of the Lord would respond to him, hear his prayer. Even that is what we are doing. Srila Gaura Govinda Mahārāja explained that our chanting of Hare Krishna, what is it? It is the sound of our soul crying out for the mercy of Krishna. O Radha, O Krishna, please engage me in your service. But it is the sound of the soul crying for their mercy. So we read a couple of times the prayer that our Srila Gurudev said we should pray. With great anguish we should cry, let me attain just a drop of Gopi Bhav. How can such a drop be obtained? It is obtained by the mercy of sadhus who are absorbed in the mood of Braj. Rupa Goswami says, Tishtam Braje Tad Anuragi Jananugami. Residing in Vrindavan, or at the feet of a Vishuddha Brajabasi, means one whose heart is saturated in the moods of Vrindavan. Because wherever they are, that is Vrindavan. We can be physically in Vrindavan and not be in Vrindavan at all, really. But if we're at the feet of any sadhu who is carrying Vrindavan in his heart, hearing their Harikatha, we can be in Vrindavan. So Rupa Goswami says, always reside in the guidance, under the guidance of this kind of personality, whose heart is overflowing with transcendental love and affection for Krishna, absorbed in the mood of Braj. Thus Śrī Satyavrata Muni says, O Prabhu, kindly grant me the association of pure-hearted saints. This is the prayer of all pure devotees. They're not asking for the direct association of Krishna, rather they're asking for the association of his pure devotees. Because that's where Krishna is. He's in the hearts of his pure devotees. He's not in Vaikuntha, nor in the hearts of the yogis. He says it himself. Naham vasami Vaikunte yoginam hridayena cha. Where am I? Where my devotees are always remembering my names, forms, qualities, and pastimes, and making a festival of this. So Harikatha festival, Krishna is present there. Madbhakta yatra gayanti tatra tishtami. I reside there. In the association, in their association, all of my cherished desires will be fulfilled. Śrī Satyavrata Muni addresses Śrī Bhagavan as Isha. You who are supremely independent in order to petition him. You are the master and controller of all. So I need not seek the mercy of others to achieve your grace. So here is a footnote. Footnotes are important. These are by our Param Gurudev or our Gurudev. It is generally seen that one obtains Krishna Prem by the mercy of Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas. Bhakta Prasada Jakripa. Although occasionally one receives the direct mercy of the Lord, but it is generally seen that the process by which the Lord's mercy descends is through the form of his mercy, Krishna Kripa Shri Murti, that is Sri Guru and Vaishnavas. O Lord, be kind to me. You do not depend on anyone or anything. If the sadhaka is completely surrendered, then you do not even pay attention to the formalities of his sadhana. That's an interesting point. If the sadhaka is completely surrendered, you do not pay attention to the formalities of his sadhana. We've heard this in terms of those who are on the platform of spontaneous devotion. They've already crossed beyond the rules and regulations of Vaidhi Bhakti. So for them, all of those rules and regulations do not apply the same as they do to us. Those who are conscious of their material entanglements, those who are saturated in their material entanglements, for us it is required that we follow a very specific sadhana, regulation, according to the rules and regulations of scriptures and the order of Guru. But for someone like, we mentioned before, Vidurani, the wife of Vidura, was it required that she feeds him a feast? Was it required that she feeds Krishna a feast of all kinds of beautiful preparations? Or even the banana? What was manifesting from her heart was love. And how it manifested externally, because of its spontaneity, was perfectly satisfying and pleasing to Krishna. We've heard the same thing with the Chobe Brahmani of Mathura, who was taking care of Madan Gopal. After the time of Advaita Acharya, he had left this deity of Madan Gopal in the care of this Brahmin family, and so many years later, Sanātana Gosvāmī saw this Chobe Brahmani. What was she doing? She was cooking Kishori for the two boys, her son and this other one, Madan, and she treated them like brothers, like both of her children, with so much love and affection. So she was stirring with one side of the stick, the Kishori, and with the other side, brushing her teeth. She wasn't showered, she didn't have fresh, clean cloth. She's cooking for Madan Gopal, Krishna. Sanātana Gosvāmī tells her, that you should cook for Thakurji in a clean state, wear clean cloth, brush your teeth with something separate than what you're stirring the pot with. That's proper. And then later on, what did he see the next day? She was showered, she was bathed, she was clean cloth, using a proper cooking spoon, but time had become late. And her own child and Madan Gopal were both pulling on her cloth. Maya, Maya, we're hungry. And they were weeping and crying, we're hungry. Why are you taking so long? We're hungry. Please give us something now. Sanātana Gosvāmī witnessed this and he said, she's beyond the rules and regulations of scriptures. And he told her, as you were doing before, continue like that. Krishna was accepting her spontaneous, loving affection and service, how she was doing it. If we do something like that, artificially, it will be aparad. But for someone who has already attained the stage of spontaneous attraction and loving devotion to Krishna, they are beyond the rules and regulations of scriptures. In fact, they make the rules and regulations of scriptures. Krishna is completely sold out to them, surrendered to them. He becomes a plaything in their hands because of their love and affection. So their love controls Krishna. In this case, if the sadhaka is completely surrendered, then you do not even pay attention to the formalities of his sadhana. If there's complete surrender, then how it's done? Actually, what's more attractive to Krishna, what's more sweet, is when one forgets all of that in deep absorption. In deep absorption, they forget all of that. When he called on a full moon night, Sharad Purnima, it's the first day of Kartik for us, that he saw the moon is reddish, the moon is full, and he desired to dance, to be with his gopis. He called on his flute, Radhe, 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 without you I cannot survive. At that moment, all of the gopis who are manifestations of her own bhavs heard their own names being called, no matter what they were doing. Some were cooking, some were cleaning, some were massaging their husband's feet, some were getting dressed, some were putting on their shringar. So many different things were being done. Some were boiling milk. It didn't matter what they were doing. Immediately they stopped it and began running toward Krishna. He saw some, they only had kajal on one eye. Some ankle bells only on one foot. Some a bit disheveled in different ways. And oh, how much pleasure and happiness did he receive seeing this kind of utkanta, eagerness to see him, to serve him. Well, this created more and more pleasure within his heart. And Mahaprabhu is saying the same thing. Nayanam galara shrudharaya vadanam gadgata rudhaya gira pulakair nichitam vapukada tavanama grahane bhavishyati. Mahaprabhu is not even able to say the name properly. Why? Because Gadgad, his voice is choking up. He can't even say the name of Jagannath, Jagagaga, Jagagaga. But how pleasing is it when that love is so great that one cannot even say the name because they're choked up. We have seen our Gurudev when he would weep. He was trying to say this verse, I believe it was Tabai Vasmi or Ha Devi Kaku, but I can't remember which one now, at Radha Kund. And as he was saying it, he could not say anymore. No, he was saying Ha Devi Kaku Bharatat Gad Gadaya, and his voice choked up and tears were just pouring from his eyes. When one is in a conscious state and able to control what they are doing, that's one thing. Okay, that's nice. When one's heart becomes choked up and tears are flowing and their voice is choked up and they cannot, and they're stumbling. Oh, what pleasure does the Lord receive by seeing this? How is their love? How great is their love and affection? For those personalities, the Lord doesn't pay attention to the formalities of their sadhana. Until that time, though, we should not pretend, we should not fake, we should not jump beyond our adhikar. But the Lord is more pleased by that kind of spontaneity. In fact, in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a quote referencing the mood of Krishna, that I am not at all attracted by the prayers of the Vedas based on awe and reverence, but even the chastising words of my Brajavasis, full of love and affection, this completely captivates and controls my mind. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the best example of how the Lord distributes His causeless mercy while completely ignoring all considerations of qualification. If someone merely saw Him, even from a distance, prema would spontaneously manifest in their heart. Mahaprabhu did not consider anyone's qualifications or frailties. Without even considering the quality of anyone's spiritual practices, He distributed prema to everyone. This was by the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. What is it? Nitai Gunamani Amar, Nitai Gunamani. I'm trying to remember that one. Hare Ghare Bhule Prem Amiyar Ban. He broke open that dam and allowed the flood of prema from the heart of Mahaprabhu to flood everywhere, getting everyone in its path, even those who didn't want it or didn't know about it. A brilliant example of this is found in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. On his way to Vrindavan, Srimad Mahaprabhu journeyed through the Jharikanda forest. As he passed through the forest, he caused prema to awaken in the hearts of all of the wild animals, the birds, worms, insects, trees, and plants and creepers. All the creatures of the jungle were instantly granted prema. Alas, will the world ever see anyone else so merciful? Satyavrata Muni is now saying, therefore have mercy on me and grant me direct darshan of you. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we know when he was going through the Jharikanda forest, by his glance and presence, he gave prema to everyone. In other words, whatever species any jiva was present within, it didn't matter. He awakened the intrinsic eternal nature of the soul within any of those species. Jiver Swarupa hoy Krishna Nitya Das. And those forms, although the soul was present inside, they began to chant the name of Krishna. And animals that were normally natural enemies, like deer and tigers, were embracing each other, chanting the name of Krishna. All were given prem immediately by the presence of and the blessing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wasn't considering qualification. That's why we pray to him. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvashe Namaha. He is the most magnanimous, most amazing, munificent benefactor of the universe. Without even considering everyone's qualification, he is giving Krishna Prem everywhere. So Satyavrata Muni is saying, therefore have mercy on me and grant me direct darshan of you. Satyavrata Muni entreats Sri Bhagavan, it is not enough for me to have but a momentary vision within my heart of little Gopal crying out of fear of his mother as she binds him to the grinding mortar. O Master, I pray to see that form directly with my own eyes. So first he wanted the form in his heart. Idam devapur nata gopal balam sadame manashyabir astam kimanyai. But now he's not satisfied with just that form in his heart. He wants direct darshan of that form. More than that, he wants to see that face which is being kissed by Mother Yashoda, and he also wants to kiss that face again and again and again. In verse 4, Śrī Sanātana Gosvāmī quoted Sri Pipalayan Rishi's explanation of antar darshan, that is internal darshan. Within Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, one first sees Sri Bhagavan within one's mind and then with one's eyes. Brahmaji beheld Sri Krishna within his mind and received a benediction from him, which fructified as the ability to create the material universe. However, in reply to Pipalayan Rishi's reasoning, Sri Gopkumar said, your thoughts are excellent, but my desire is to see Sri Madan Gopal directly with my eyes. In this case, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada states, first, Sri Bhagavan is seen within the soul, and then that vision reflects in the mind. The form of the deity is the externally manifest reflection of the moods that Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas experience at such times. Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas mercifully plant the tendency to perform service to Sri Krishna in a person's heart as a seed. So in a seed form, the tendency to serve Krishna is planted within the heart by Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas. That seed gradually matures through the stages of Shraddha, Anishta, Asakti, and so on until it finally reaches its destination, which is Prem, in the fruit of Prem. But the seed can only develop like this if the sadhaka carefully proceeds in sadhu sangha without interruption. Even if Sri Bhagavan personally appears to a devotee who is in the advanced stages of Prem, he will think that he is seeing his worshipful Lord within his heart, due to being overwhelmed with bhav. For example, when Mahaprabhu left Sri Navadip Dham, he would personally come to eat the foodstuffs his mother cooked for him, but she always considered her visions of him to be hallucinations. Similarly, after Sri Krishna left Vrindavan, he personally appeared before the gopis again and again, but they also dismissed those meetings as mere visions. Krishna was telling them, I'm coming again and again. Every day I'm coming here. I'm associating with you personally, but they're thinking it is vision, darshan, or internal heart's darshan. A devotee who progresses through the stages of bhakti by performing Nam Sankirtan finally attains Prem. Leaving this world behind, he enters the divine realm where he sees Sri Bhagavan directly. This darshan eradicates the slightest scent of any remaining anarthas and gives him entrance into Bhagavan's eternal pastimes in Śrī Vrindavan Dham. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada very, very succinctly clarified what is going on, what happens inside and outside. By direct darshan of Bhagavan, all one's anarthas are eradicated, even the slightest scent of any remaining anarthas. And even if Krishna shows himself externally, the Vaishnava or the devotee will think he's giving me darshan within the heart. But here is something interesting. He says, first, Sri Bhagavan is seen within the soul, not through the eyes. It is the soul who has darshan, because the soul is transcendental, divine. And the soul's eyes see, and it is only thinking that I am seeing through here. But actually that divine revelation is taking place within the soul. And then that vision reflects in the mind. So from the soul into the mind. The form of the deity is the externally manifest reflection of the moods that Sri Guru and Vaishnavas experience at such time. That's a pretty interesting tattva, isn't it? What they are witnessing, what they are seeing, is manifesting outside and manifesting to us in the form of the deity, Thakurji. It is not any creation or concoction or figment of imagination. It is their darshan taking form. How amazing is that? Our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Mahārāja, in his Mayavad Ki Jivani, means going beyond nirvana, is explaining, because the questions come up, and maybe also it's in his biography, Acharya Keshari, which I can talk about tomorrow as well. But the point comes up about worshipping the graven image. Because, well, in other faiths it is said, thou shalt not worship a graven image. And so Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj explains what is the meaning of graven image. Any form that you concoct with your mind, any idea, like God is the light shining through the clouds and the rainbow kind of thing. I'm creating some idea. I'm making a form. He said even your own book, because you're treating it as the Word of God, but you're not of that nature to be able to understand properly, that in itself can be the graven image. And the deity form of the Lord, who is manifest from the heart and from the divine vision of that personality who has attained and is engaged in their direct relationship with the Lord, because it is authorized and because they have requested the Lord to take his form or take that form and accept the worship of the devotee, that cannot be considered a graven image. Only something which is manufactured from our own minds, our own material consciousness, that is considered graven. So even someone who is of a religious mindset, if they're creating or concocting something from here, and it's not manifesting from the Atma, from the soul, or from the divine vision of the pure devotees, then that is considered idolatry. Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj completely nailed that point so strongly and so powerfully. It was amazing to see it. So I would like to share it if we can somehow, maybe by tomorrow. Also, the Sudevi, can you tell what the some of the saints said? Doctors of the faith.
About what?
Was it Saint John or Teresa? Saint John of the Cross from Spain.
It said what?
Regarding idolatry and graven image.
Oh, St. John of the Cross.
Come a little closer.
St. John of the Cross, he says that if he's explaining, I think in the Success of Faith, no, Dark Night of the Soul, he's explaining the different moods of the teachings of Christ, and he speaks about worshipping a false idol. And then he explains that a false idol is anything that we have attachment to. If it's, an artist, a singer, a rock star, if it's our clothes, if it's our family members, if it's any material thing, he says then we're putting it on the level of God, because only God is the repository for our love, for our affection and attachment. So if we have attachment to anything in this world, then that is the false idol.
Anything that we place with more equal or more importance
yes.
to God.
He said this is a false idol.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry,
Anjali is like, ulu, ulu, ulu. St. John of the Cross.
The St. John of the Cross. He was the student of Teresa of Avila, and then he became her confessor. Very excellent Vaishnava.
Do you remember, O Vaishnavas, if we already read the footnote from page 121 way back? I believe we did, because it was all about this. Yes, I must have. Annotation by Param Gurudev, page 139. So we have come to this point of tattva. What kind of tattva? Archa Vigraha tattva. The truth of the worshipful deity form of the Lord. Some people say, oh my God, it's idolatry. And those same people have their favorite rock stars. Those same people are worshiping their whatever, video games, their presidents, their television stars, their this and that, and putting all of their time in all of these things and then judging everyone else, but not understanding really what the meaning of idolatry is. They don't call them idols for nothing. He's my idol, the rock idol, this and that. All my time and energy put into worshiping my wife, or my husband, or my children, or my dog, or my president, or my boss, or my favorite actors, or my favorite musicians, or my favorite anything. And my mind, myself in the mirror, all kinds of other things. These bodies, making these bodies the center. I am the enjoyer. I am the center. And pointing the finger at everyone else and saying, oh, you are idolaters. Not understanding what is the meaning of idolatry. Even from the doctors of the Catholic Church, they have gone deeply into the real meaning of this. And so if we're not under guidance of those who are seers and knowers of the truth, then our tendency will be to manufacture our own conclusions and point the finger, not understanding what is what. I believe it was posted in that book, by Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Saraswati Prabhupada, that big one called Prabhupada. There are some conversations in there, and in that there's a conversation with one, maybe his name is Rajen Babu, where Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Saraswati Prabhupada is answering so many questions, and he's very strongly establishing Archa Vigraha Tattva, the worship of the deity form of the Lord, not as a figment of imagination, but what is given according to descriptions in Shastra. And more than that, because there are descriptions in Shastra, and you go to Loy Bazaar and you see people in the bazaar who make deities. They cast them in a mold. Then they are sitting there with their feet on them. That's how they hold them in place. And they got chisels and hammers and ting, 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 ting. And then refining them this way and that way with files and everything. Then they take them to Jamuna and polish them with the sand. And still then, there's all these deities sitting there in the shop. And they take them, throw them, no one feeds them, no one's taking care of them, no one's loving them. They're waiting to be purchased. So the shape or the form of the Lord in essence is there according to scripture, but our Vaishnavas, our pure devotees, still don't consider that to be bona fide or authorized to worship. Not as the Lord directly, because it is by the call of the pure devotee that the Lord manifests. They bring Krishna. They make Krishna appear. Krishna prapti hoy jaha hoite. Guru makes Krishna appear in the heart. In the case of Archa Vigraha, Sri Guru, Gurudev, goes to them and chant mantras calling Krishna, you please manifest in this form. Take this form and accept the service of your devotees. Gurudev is asking Krishna to come. And as Sudevi said the other day, she was quoting Srila Bhaktivedānta Bharati Mahārāja. When the pure devotee requests Krishna to do something, Krishna is bound to follow because of their love and affection. So then he resides within that form. He is bound to. And he will not leave unless the pure devotee says, leave that form. In other words, Krishna is there. Krishna is there in that form. And of course, the pure devotee can ask Krishna to descend in any form, but for us and for them, and according to the descriptions in Shastra, we hear how Krishna is. Alola Chandra Kalasad Vanamalya Vangshi, no, Benung Panantam Aravinda Dalayataaksham, Barhavatang Samasitam Burusundarangam, Kandarpa Kotikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami, Shyamam Tribhanga Lalitam Niyataprakasham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. How his eyes are long like lotus petals. How he has a beautiful, sweet smile, bimba fruit red lips. How his locks of hair are curling and kissing his cheeks like bumblebees kissing his cheeks. How his neck is with 3 lines. How his hands are, how his arms are, how his fingers are. How he's holding a flute to his lips. How his tilak is, kasturi tilakam lalata patale pakshastale koshtubham. Nasagre varamoktikam karatale venum kare kankanam. Sarvange harichandanam sulalitam kande chamuktavali. Gopastri pariveshtato vijayate gopala chudamani. How he's standing bent in 3 ways. Very, very beautiful. How his shoulders are broad and his waist is thin. How exquisite he is. Why he's standing with 1 foot crossed over the other, you can find out at another time. So many descriptions are given in Shastra. And the pure devotee is having this darshan of Krishna, seeing that most beautiful form of Krishna, following in the anugatya of Srimati Radhika. And witnessing that form, he's asking that Krishna, please, for the sake of your devotee, enter into this form and accept their service. That is Archa Vigraha, the incarnation of the Lord in the form of Thakurji. So, according to the 64 limbs of bhakti and the 9 limbs of bhakti, Rupa Goswami gives 64 in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Prahlad Maharaj mentions 9 in Śrīmad Bhagavatam. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, we have been given the condensed version. 5. Sadhu Sangha, associating with the pure devotees of the Lord. Nam Kirtan, always chanting the holy names of the Lord, glorifying his forms, qualities, and pastimes. Bhagavat Shravan, hearing Śrīmad Bhagavatam. From who? Sadhus. Mathuravas, residing within Sri Vrindavan Dham. Mathuravas means Mathura Mandal. Also means Mathura Puri or Madhura Puri, the land of sweetness. And the last one, which is mentioned there, Shri Murtir, the form of the Lord, Shraddhai Sevan, with faith, with love, with affection, with honor, worshipping the Archa Vigraha form, the Murti of the Lord. This is the 5 processes mentioned in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it is essential for us, and that is not the same as idolatry or worshipping a graven image. Idolatry or worshipping a graven image is something which has no foundation in Shastra, no foundation in Scripture, and generally means worshipping anything which is not the Lord, which is less than, or which is mundane, or for some material purpose. That is idolatry or graven. Graven means of this world, but Archa Vigraha is not of this world. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada established this tattva very strongly. And I just read here, Pran Pratishtha. Pran means life, and Pratishtha means to establish. So Sri Gurudev is calling that transcendental life, the life of all life, Jivaner Jivan, to manifest in that form. That is called Prana Pratishtha. He's bringing life, God, Krishna, in condensed form, who will accept the service of the devotee into that form. And as long as Sri Guru has called Krishna there, Krishna will remain there. And that's why Srila Gurudev told Sudevi when he gave her Thakurji, even after your departure from this world, you are still responsible for them. You're still responsible. And we've seen our Goswamis, how they were responsible. They had their Thakurji. Jiva Goswami had his, Radha Damodar. Rup Goswami had his, Radha Govinda. Gopal Bhatta Goswami had his, Radha Raman. Then Shyamananda had his, Radha Shyama Sundar. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur had his, Radha Gokulananda. Madhu Pandit had his, Radha Gopinath. And they entrusted the worship of their deities into families who would maintain that worship over the years and centuries. So Gurudev said, even after you're no longer here, you're still responsible for them. I have called them for you. So what an amazing thing. So there's a big responsibility in accepting Thakurji. Just as one would have to take care of their baby. If you do not feed your baby, clothe your baby, take care of your baby when it's sick, then someone will come and take the baby away from you and punish you. Naturally. What are they called? Social workers? They will hear about something, some neglect, some mistreatment. They will come to your door and they will put you in jail and take your baby away and give your baby to someone who will love and take care of them. So we have to treat Thakurji in the same way. They have taken these forms in a sense which are dependent upon us and our seva. Although in one sense, of course, they're not, but for us, they have made themselves in a state of dependence. They won't eat until we give them something. They will not change their clothes unless we give them something. They will not bathe unless we bathe them. So they are accepting service, and by that we are purified. And also, because of the fact that we have to make sure that we take care very, very carefully. Jatane, palanakori, or sabdhan, with great care and attention, due to the possibility of seva aparad. Krishna is there, Radhika is there, Sachinandan Gaurahari is there, Gopal is there, Shalagram, Giriraj is there. So then there are conceptions of seva aparad. Then we have to be very careful how we take care, with what kind of attention, what kind of energy, what kind of affection, what kind of exclusiveness. Otherwise, there will be negative repercussions for seva aparad. So a great responsibility comes unto the devotee who accepts the service of Thakurji. But that's not a bad thing. That's a really good thing. Then in essence, we are forced to make sure that we are conscious of Krishna 24 hours a day. If we're not conscious of Krishna, then we will make aparad, seva aparad. So we have to be conscious. When we eat, every time we go to take a snack, technically we should give them a snack first. They're also members of the household, members of the family. Is it? Oh, it says it's 7:48 on the clock. So Devi told me it's time. So I want to, maybe afterward, I'll post in the comment section if I can find that discussion from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. I want to share it, Archa Vigraha Tattva, because it's quite powerful. And I also want to share what our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj says about this idolatry. And what is idolatry versus Thakur Seva. There's a complete difference in the two things. And so it would really... Oh. My deities aren't installed. Sometimes I go on a holiday to places where I can't take them. Is it an option to take their picture with me and do puja, offer bhoga to the pics? Govardhan is small, so easy to take with me. Better to give them to someone else to take care of. If you're taking care of them sometimes, and then not sometimes, it's considered a seva aparad. I mean, I don't know, it seems a little bit like taking care of your children sometimes and then not sometimes. Just taking their picture on holiday and feeding their picture. If you are going to worship them and look after them and take care of them, then that should remain consistent. And that teaches us responsible seva. It teaches us to be conscious of Krishna, whether we're on holiday or not. At least give them a babysitter. If you're treating them as your Thakurji for 90% of the time, and then not my Thakurji for 10% of the time, there's an inconsistency there. So to maintain consistency and to maintain consciousness of Krishna, either we take them with us at great difficulty. For us, we actually had to start purchasing an extra bag every time we would travel because, well, they have luggage. Because they're people too, and they have their own luggage. And so Sudevi was like, I can't be without them anymore. We're going to have to bring them with us and their luggage. And it ended up being a little costly. So that means we have to forego some of our own personal enjoyment to provide facility to bring their belongings with them. So Krishna has a way of working to take over. He has that kind of nature. Gradual, gradual, gradual. Remember, he is from Vrindavan. You open the door a little bit, 1 foot in. You open it a little more, right? What is it? Give an inch, he'll take a mile. That's why Srila Prabhupada said, if you take 1 step toward Krishna, he'll take 100 steps toward you. So he has a way of gradually taking over completely. One day, he will have to take over completely, and we will have no choice. But we should make that endeavor also from our side. Remember how mercy is attained. Remember how mercy is attained. 2 things are necessary. The mercy is there, but we also require to do something, and that is our own endeavor. If anyone knows the Sanskrit terms for that, you will get donuts from Isha Thakurani Devi Dasi. And we will end here. We have just completed verse 6 of Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam. Tomorrow we will be observing the day of our Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, his appearance festival. And also, it will be the birthday of one of our very, very near and dear friends who also looked after our Thakurji for many years.
And also the day after is Bhaktivedānta Saraswati Thakur and Śrīla Govinda Maharaj.
And the day after our Param Gurudev's day is the day of his Gurudev, our Param Gurudev, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, and also the disappearance festival of Śrīla Govinda Maharaj. So, wow, what an amazing, power-packed month this is. So, we will resume Śrī Dāmodarāṣṭakam, chapter 7, after our Param Gurudev's day, after Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada's day, Srila Govinda Maharaj's day. And by the time we get to the end, then we will again resume when Kartik begins. So we will never lose anything. Okay. So, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Gaura Hari Bol, 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 Gaura Hari Bol, Jai Gurudev, Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Elephant. thank you all very much for being with us today and giving us the opportunity to remember the beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and Guru Varga. Also, we would like to express our deepest appreciation and indebtedness to each and every one of you for daily giving us the opportunity to do our Guru Seva, which is our life and soul. You all saw the elephant, right? He's kind of hiding behind the flower there. So, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
You wanted to see that, the bookshelf.
You want to see the bookshelf? It's just a little bookshelf. You know what? All of our Prabhupada books are on digital form so that we can travel with them. So that's why when you keep asking to have a view of the library, I feel ashamed because you can't see Srila Prabhupada's books, although I have every one of them. What to do?
We used to travel with a suitcase and a half full of books, but that was kind of hurting my back. And then the digital books came out, and so we started going.
And Gurudev's books weren't put to digital forms, so.
Not yet, so we were getting them one at a time, so we still have them. But maybe Prabhupada's books will manifest on the
We're
shelf.
praying, we're praying.
Okay. So Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radha Vinu Bihari Ju ki
Jai.
jai. Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai.
Chivadiyamo
Dhamani
Dhamani.
Astamayana.
Radhe
Radhe
Radhe.
Radhe.
Says Kishori Mohan is watching.
Yeah, I'm watching.